6 weeks into the NFL season, taking a look back at my preseason assessments of players and cards that I purchased, and breaking guys into three categories, or predictions into three categories: winners, losers, and to be determined. So the biggest category so far, as it should be, is to be determined. Any of the quarterbacks with high expectations, it would be hard to say they were big. It would be hard for them to be big winners unless they were totally lighting the league on fire so far, which none of these are. But as long as they're getting to the playoffs, it really becomes about winning playoff games, winning a Super Bowl, and for quarterbacks, the most important stat is always wins and losses. It's a quarterback league. They get all the glory, and card values go up. Look at Tom Brady, look at Patrick Mahomes. When you win Super Bowls and rack up playoff wins. So to be determined: Joe Burrow, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, and then I have A.J. Brown and DeVonte Smith along with him in the Eagles. To be determined. You can't win a Super Bowl through week 6. You can go 5-1, and there's no need to apologize for that. They're right where they should be. But let's start at the top with Joe Burrow. Weird start this season for him. Calf strain preseason with a couple weeks to go before the season started. No big deal, right? Well, that ended up being a big deal. The guy could barely move, but still played the first 3 games while they were losing left and right. That Monday night game against the Rams was one of the uglier games you'll see. Their defense kept them in it and eventually won it for them because of the Rams' inability to block their defensive front. And they were just all over Stafford all game, and Burrow gutted out a little bit of offensive production, and that was enough to get them to win. But they've righted the ship since then. They look pretty good. I think they're on a course to be just fine heading in the playoffs. And they are a very dangerous team in the playoffs, as they've shown the last 2 years. So they should be just fine. He should be just fine, especially if this does continue and he continues to get healthy. I think they're on the bye this week, so that certainly helps. So I bought one of his, and it was a BCCG grading company, 10. So, lessons learned. Any grading company besides PSA, I'm seeing significantly less value, and I wouldn't purchase any graded cards that aren't PSA graded going forward. And I haven't for a while, so that was a mistake there. Trey Lance, that's a true to be determined. He hasn't played yet this season. Obviously, the backup for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak hasn't been good, but not super encouraging that there's not really any talk of Trey Lance, coming in and trying to save that season. In fact, I think Cooper Rush is still their number 2 quarterback. So certainly nothing good news-wise for Lance through 6 weeks. Hopefully we see him on the field. Those of us that bought in a little bit to him, and I bought one. It was a psychedelic prism numbered to 5. So I was excited about that, but it was a PSA 9. It's like $45 or something. I have it listed, I think, at $99, because if he does eventually play and end up doing something, I would expect the price and being exciting again. I would expect the price to get there. If not, we'll drop it or auction it off and get rid of it. Justin Fields, what can you say? The Bears are always a disaster. He's a tough situation for him. Disgraceful first few weeks, but then he lights it up on Thursday Night Football against the Commanders. I mean, really like 300 plus yards and 4 touchdowns. Looks like maybe he's back. Then the next week, dislocated thumb, questionable for this week. So, not great, but I bought one of his cards. It might have been $50. So I don't think I listed it. I got a get around to listing the rest of mine. I do always have the intention of really listing all of them except for just a couple specific players, and being involved in the trading and buying and selling, and not just buying, hoarding, and losing money. So I got to do a better job of getting the rest of my stuff listed. Justin Fields, yeah, well, to be determined. We'll see. Again, young guy, second year. He's shown the ability to play in this league and be successful in different ways, especially running the football. The Bears haven't shown that ability anytime in recent history, especially offensively. Even when they didn't make a couple playoff appearances, it was always because of the defense. So I don't know, same old there, but I wouldn't give up on him as a player by any means just yet. And then I'll put the three Eagles in the same category: Hurts, A.J. Brown, DeVonte Smith. To be determined in the Super Bowl last year. This is certainly a Super Bowl win or bust season for them, and certainly for Hurts and his Cards. If they're going to do anything really good, that there's going to need to be at least a Super Bowl reappearance and really a Super Bowl win. He's looked fine. Philadelphia media, of course, will overplay anything, good or bad. He's had decent games all the way around. Couple good, maybe last week against the Jets not so good, but not anything to be super worried about with him. A.J. Brown does continue to put up big numbers on a weekly basis. He could easily actually be in the winners category, but them as a team, if they put up a Super Bowl win, that's where these Cards, I think, get where you want them to get. And if they don't, I don't know, they probably can't go up too much. DeVonte Smith is actually very disappointing just in terms of stats. I mean, until last week, he didn't have any drops or anything bad like that. He did have a couple of bad drops against the Jets. It's just been a math problem with that offense, with the number of one ball and a bunch of playmakers. So Brown's been the one to see the numbers every week. Anybody else, whether it's Goddard, Swift, DeVonte Smith, they're not going to be able to put up big numbers every week, and they were winning every week. So the Sirianni likes to play ball control. He likes to force the run. He likes to sit on leads and let it get close in the second half. And he likes to make some bad decisions in the second half and hope that the better talent gets him a win, which he usually does. So as you can see, I think it's more of a coaching problem and play calling problem in terms of these guys not being the explosive offense that they certainly are capable of talent-wise. But yeah, that team has higher aspirations than regular season wins or stats, certainly, and they certainly still have every chance to make those aspirations happen.